The fork froze halfway to her mouth when she said it. Casual, amused, practiced. You already knew I'd choose him if he ever asked me. She smirked, glancing at her parents like she'd just delivered a clever punchline. The table went quiet except for the hum of the chandelier and the slow grind of my mullers. Her mother laughed nervously. Her father cleared his throat. No one looked at me. I didn't blink, didn't argue, didn't ask who him was. I stood up, chair legs screamed against tile. I smiled, small, polite, harmless, thanked her parents for dinner, complimented the roast, took my napkin off my lap and folded it neatly on the table. Then I walked out. Behind me, I felt her smirk still hanging in the air, convinced it had landed where she wanted. She had no idea what she'd just given me. We'd been together 4 years. Long enough that her parents called me son without realizing how conditional that word is. Long enough that our apartment smelled like us. Her citrus shampoo in the shower, my coffee on the counter, shared routines welded into muscle memory. I was the quiet one, the steady one, the man who listened instead of performing. She used to say that made her feel safe. I believed her. I planned my life with margins for her. Bought furniture that matched her taste. Learned which silences meant exhaustion and which meant trouble. I thought intimacy was built through attention, through showing up early, through staying late. Betrayal doesn't arrive loud, it arrives dressed as familiarity. The signs were small, too small to accuse, too precise to ignore. Her phone faced down more often. A new brightness when a certain name surfaced in conversation quickly extinguished. Laughter that didn't invite me in. Sudden protectiveness over details she used to spill without thinking. I told myself I was tired, paranoid, insecure. But my body knew before my mind did. It started bracing for impact. That dinner was supposed to calm me, proof that I was imagining things. Families don't joke about leaving men they're about to marry. Except she wasn't joking. When she said his name, finally said it, I felt the room tilt. An old friend, a man she'd almost dated. The one she'd assured me was history. She didn't apologize, didn't it? She enjoyed the reveal like she'd rehearsed it in her head and was pleased with the delivery. I looked at her and realized something terrifyingly clean. She thought I'd beg or explode or forgive. She thought I was predictable. I walked into the night with my pulse steady, already separating memory from liability, already understanding that love hadn't just ended, it had exposed itself as leverage. I didn't go far, just far enough to think clearly. I drove back before she did. Let myself into the apartment we shared. The place where she believed everything was still waiting for her, I packed with precision. No anger, no haste, clothes folded, shoes paired, toiletries sealed. I didn't damage anything, didn't steal, didn't leave notes dripping with emotion. I boxed her life the way a surgeon closes a wound. Clean edges, no excess. I changed the locks. Then I carried her things outside and lined them along the porch, neat as an inventory, her coats over the railing, her plants watered. Her ring, the ring placed gently on top, catching the porch. Light. Silence was my weapon, and I wielded it perfectly. She came home still smirking. I watched from inside as she climbed the steps, phone in hand, confident, intact. Watched it falter when she noticed the boxes, the coats, the impossible order of her life displayed like evidence. Her smile collapsed slowly as if gravity had finally reached it. She knocked hard, then harder. Voice followed, sharp, then pleading, then angry. She rattled the handle like that would undo what was already finished. I opened the door just enough for my words to pass through. You were right, I said calmly. I already knew. She stared at me, eyes darting, recalculating. This wasn't the script. You can't do this, she said. We need to talk. We did, I replied. Dinner, her parents called. Her friends texted. I ignored all of it. I handed her a folder through the gap. Copies of messages she'd forgotten to delete. Timelines she'd underestimated, screenshots taken without drama or comment. Her hands shook as she flipped through them. I watched the realization land. Not that she was caught, but that she'd lost control of the narrative. Power doesn't shout. It steps aside and lets truth walk in. She left before midnight, took what she could carry, left the rest like the wreckage it was. The apartment felt lighter immediately, like it had been holding its breath. I slept well that night. In the morning I made coffee and watched sunlight stretch across the floor she used to cross without looking at me. I felt no urge to check my phone, no need to explain myself. She'd wanted a choice. She'd made it, and I'd made mine without raising my voice, without spilling a drop of dignity on the floor. Funny thing about silence, it echoes longer than any argument ever could. She thought she'd leave me waiting, but when she finally asked, I was already gone.